Normalization of data. In information systems before the appearance of databases, there was duplication of data. This caused the problems with the occurrence of useless data and with updates not being entered. In order to solve these problems, the relationships between data were well organized, and then duplicated data was eliminated. This operation is called data normalization. In data normalization, there are 5 basic steps from the first normal form to the 5th normal form. More data redundancies eliminated as you go higher up the steps. Let us look at the most generally used first normal form, second normal form, and third normal form in database design. 1. First normal form. In the first normal form, repeated attributes within a record are removed to form another separate record, or multiple separate records. In other words, first normal form ensures there will be no repetition of similar information within a record. A record that does not meet the condition of first normal form is called a non-first normal form. In the illustration, an example of non-first normal form is shown, and all records are organized on a per-employee basis. Because of this, when a single employee has multiple qualifications, a set of qualifications data, qualification code, qualification name, year acquired, qualification benefit, is repeated within the record. In order to create first normal form, a new record, in which contains a set of qualification data and other commonly used data, is generated on a qualification data basis. Thus, first normal form ensures there will be no repetition of similar information within a record. By using the normalization of data from first normal form through third normal form, even a person with no experience with databases, records, can easily make a proper record design. When first normal form is created from non-first normal form, the redundancy of data gets higher. However, first normal form is only the first step, so you need not worry about it. Data redundancy will be reduced by applying second normal form and third normal form on a step-by-step basis. 2. Second normal form. The item, group, that distinguishes each record from other records is called the primary key. For example, in the illustration, non-first normal form is composed of each employee record, so the primary key is the employee number. As long as there are no employees with the same name, the employee name could be used as the primary key. However, thinking of the possibility that this might occur in the future, the employee number is used as the primary key here. Furthermore, in the illustration, each record of first normal form can be identified by using both employee and qualification acquired, so the primary key will be employee number plus qualification code. If the employee number were used as the only primary key, multiple records with different qualification codes might be extracted. If the qualification code were the only primary key, multiple records with different employee numbers might be extracted. Thus, neither of them alone would be suitable for a primary key. The conditions for the primary key are met only when both are combined. the primary key is not limited to a single item. There are cases where there are combinations of multiple items. There are cases where fixing the value of item A inevitably leads to determining that of item B. For example, if the employee number is 930,001, the employee name is Yamada Ichiro. This means that the employee name is determined by the employee number. With regard to the record that meets the condition of the first normal form, when the primary key is a combination of multiple items, there are cases where one or more items of the primary keys can determine this specific record. In such cases, the primary key and associated item can be handled as separate records. In other words, in second normal form, all of the items except the primary keys in the record are determined by the primary keys. Let us look at the relationship between the primary key and the items other than the primary key in the illustration, the example of first normal form. Even if multiple records with the same employee number have some different qualification codes, the employee name is decided by the employee number alone. In the same manner, the extension number, section code, section name, section head name, and total qualification benefits are determined by the employee number. Also, the qualification code can determine the qualification name and qualification benefit irrespective of the other items. Because of this, the qualification name and qualification benefit are items that are decided by the qualification code. As for the remaining item year acquired, it implies the information about when, year acquired, and which employee number, acquired which qualification code, so it can be determined by using employee number plus qualification code. In other words, it is determined by an entire set of primary keys. This result is separated into three groups, as shown in the illustration. As a result, the employee number and/or the qualification code must exist in each record. It might look like redundant items. However, if these items are not present, there will be no relationship between groups, and the original information cannot be reproduced. 3. Third normal form. For records that meet the conditions of second normal form, if there are any items that are determined by items other than the primary keys, those items can be extracted to form third normal form. In other words, in third normal form all of the items other than the primary keys are configured from records determined by the primary keys. You may think that there is no difference between second normal form and third normal form. However, second normal form was determined only by using the relationship between items that made up the items other than the primary keys and the primary keys. On the other hand, third normal form goes one step further, and special attention is paid to the relationships between items other than the primary keys. Let us think about the example employee table of second normal form in the illustration. The contents of employee name, extension number, section code, and total qualification benefits are different on per employee basis. However, as long as the section code and different records are the same, the section name and section head name are also the same even if the employee name are different each other. it follows that the section name and section head name are determined by the section code, which is a different item from the primary keys. Because of this, the section code and its related section name and section head name can be extracted as separate records. The result is that the employee table is partitioned into the employee table and the section table. Also, it is necessary to delete the total qualification benefits and any other items that can be calculated or totaled, derived items. In other words, to put a table in third normal form, in addition to the conditions described above, all of the items that do not relate to the primary keys must be deleted. When you looked at the example of second normal form in the illustration, you may have intuited that the section name and section head name were redundant. It is certain that when the section head changes, a change of the section head name in multiple records will become necessary, and there is a chance of failure to update data. However, redundant data is eliminated by organizing data so as to meet the conditions of third normal form.